Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? Good to see you on again tonight. I'll tell you what, crypto, XRP, still moving money all around the world, but
Oh
there's
yeah.
some stuff coming out. SEC, Gary G, Daddy G himself on losing lawsuits. What is up with
Hmm.
the SEC willing to lose lawsuits? Hmm.
That is a curious thing, Jeff.
It's an interesting thought to ponder, and I think we're going to
Hmm.
get into that and a lot more because there's some notables in the space, meaning in the blockchain, amongst others, that have been discussing this very topic. So if you're ready to kick this thing off, I am ready and
Let's
fired up.
go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Bam.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So I just want to start off by saying one thing, Jeff. It is the kind of the cap of the week. Of course,
Ooh.
it kind of usually starts over again on Saturday, which is
Wednesday.
always fun too. But Saturday. But I would just remind everybody, if you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe. If you want more of the content, if you want more of the SEC, the Ripple, the XRP, if you want more of this type of content, go ahead and subscribe. And while you're here, while you're all piling in, click the
Subscribe.
like button. Why do I say that? Why is it annoying? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we've been stuck at the same amount of subs for the last almost 2 weeks. Up 2 subs, down 2 subs, up 2 subs. If you don't think there's
Very
throttling going
bizarre.
on, you're nuts. Okay, it's physically impossible. I mean,
Very, very strange. But if it was, could you imagine if YouTube was running on the XRPL and they were,
decentralization.
life would be good again. Life would be great. It would be so grand.
It certainly
So,
would be interesting.
man, I'll tell you what, there's some crazy things that are going on right now around the world. There's crazy things in the blockchain space. And with all of that, it's amazing how, the powers that be that seem to be in power right now are speaking out against crypto, and they're trying to, ramp up their negativity. But there's a lot of crazy things happening out there. I just got back from an interesting meeting with a previous ambassador, and some of the things that he said were very eye-opening. But tonight is all about crypto and lawsuits and all that good stuff. So I know
Do
you got
share.
something really cool queued up, right? So,
I've got
man,
something good. I think let's go to some John Deaton tweets. We got some good video to watch tonight. We're going to jump into it. We're going to unpack it all. As usual, you can count on us to give commentary because that's what we do. We're going to give our opinions, and sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't. And it's even more fun when you don't like them because you comment in the chat. But let's bring
that
it
makes
on.
it
But
a
let's
lot.
start off
That
with
makes
this.
it fun.
Let's actually I want to start with this tweet. Let me fix this one. Let's go with this one right here. So John Deaton was just on fire today. Like when I say on fire, Jeff, just on fire. Like every day he is, but it's just amazing the mind of
Twitter
John E.
rat.
Deaton. And it's like funny when I say Johnny Deaton, it sounds like I'm saying Johnny, like Johnny Cash. There's
Johnny.
Johnny Deaton. Johnny.
It's
So John says, so why hasn't the judge thrown out the case between tweets, DMs, and emails? To my law firm, this question has been asked over 100 times. People ask, with all the evidence related to conflicts of interest and appearances of improprieties, why hasn't the judge dismissed the case? Pretty good question, Jeff.
It's a really good question. I'm wondering that myself.
I think we're all wondering. I think we're all kind of like scratching our head a little bit, like, just a little scratching ahead. Look at there's Hans Loaded. What's up, Bam?
Sup, Hans?
What's up, Hans? So we got this. Got to commit Hans Loaded, not Solo. I don't want to make that
Not to
mistake
be
again.
confused with Han Solo.
Well, Han Solo's a badass. You think about it, he was always running all kinds of stuff behind the scenes, and that Millennium Falcon. He was kind of a badass. So I think that's appropriate.
Millennium Falcon was cool.
Hans the badass too.
What do they call it? The Millennium Falcon. It kind of
I don't know.
a tape off of millennials.
Maybe it sounds better than just Falcon. Let's get into Falcon. No, the Millennium Falcon. Ooh, that sounds rich.
That sounds really cool.
I like that. Yeah. So continuing on with John's tweet here, it says the judge isn't on Twitter. Following this, the judge relies only on evidence she's presented by the parties in the case. Parties is in all caps. Except for a few inferences, Ripple has not offered evidence related to any possible corruption. In fact, I'm the only one who has offered any evidence on the issue at all. The only reason I was able to submit any of this evidence is because the SEC attacked me personally, labeling me a clout-seeking Twitter conspiracy theorist. Jeff, say that 4 times fast.
That's a lot of work.
I can't say it one time.
Twitter conspiracy theorist.
Wait, do it again. That's pretty good.
Clout-seeking Twitter conspiracy theorist.
I can't even say that.
Twitter conspiracy theorist.
There you go. Okay, you win the prize for tonight.
Woo.
And John continues, says, I offered objective facts supporting my criticism. Had they not attacked me, I wouldn't have offered any evidence at all. My ability to file anything related to conflicts required strategy. And he tags Moon Lambo, myself, and Jeff in the tweet. Moon Lambo, Chip, and Jeff can attest to this strategy because I sent them an email predicting the attack before it happened. Now we remember that. We got the email, and about a week later, so there it came. He outlined it all. He said he wanted to send it to us and Moon Lambo, Matt, the Moon Lambo channel. Hey, it's Matt at the Matt at the Moon Lambo channel. Yeah, we gotta have Matt on here. Matt's a pretty cool dude.
We do need to get him on here.
We should just bring him on here. Moon Lambo.
We should bring him on. Moon Lambo. That would be pretty cool.
Time to get Moon Lambo on the chain.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, we don't even know him, but I listen to his videos, so it's like I feel like we should be in the know. So he sent that out. I tweeted this out, just saying, yeah, you know, Jeff and I can both vouch for this. The fact that he sent it out. And quite honestly, when we got it, I was like, you know what? This is crazy. He's like, he knows that this is coming. Boom, it came. It was like, bam. And then he says, we can't conflate what's stated on Twitter or YouTube with what judges actually review. That's a good point, Jeff, because the judges are what is in front of them. They don't necessarily know all the crypto Twitter sleuths uncovering stuff, right?
No, thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And the current government and SEC and all those others, they have no idea what's going on out there.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. What is this? Why is there oh, okay. Yeah, I was seeing something. No, there's just a StreamYard tweet in there. It's like, just explain this is the tweet. I never noticed it before, but so he says that for example, emails between Hinman and his law firm that Empower US received the Freedom of Information Act litigation are not part of the Ripple case. Now that's interesting in itself. Like that's not part of it. We know about it. Judges,
we do
know nothing about it. The judge hasn't been provided any of those emails because this was somebody named DJ asking if the SEC and Empower are those redactions unredacted for the judge. Then he points out, the point I'm trying to make here is that the people shouldn't expect judges to throw out the case based on evidence that isn't being presented to the judge. I've seen criticism of the judges because they aren't doing something they haven't been asked to do. It doesn't work that way. I realize people are frustrated. I am as well. You want to say something, John?
No.
Okay.
Just kind of digesting everything that he's saying.
There's a lot going on there. People are frustrated. I am as well. If you want something done, then you're going to have to get congressional oversight committees to ask for an investigation. Go to cryptolaw.us. It's crypto-law.us. Use the Connect to Congress app. International holders use the international app. So
that's a really interesting, point. Reaching out to Congress to have them do their job. Sometimes they forget that they were sent there with a task to represent individuals, and unfortunately, instead of doing what they're supposed to do, then they end up just kind of doing what's good for them, and they kind of enrich themselves, and they get real happy with all the enrichment and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
what's up with that?
It's a really bizarre thing here. And then, so like I said, I told you John Deaton was on fire. Told you he was on fire, Jeff.
On fire. And so thank God he sent that email to us all that time back. You think about, and it was so quick. I mean, he outlined exactly what was going to happen, and almost to the letter. It's exactly what's amazing is that instead of going after content or, doing research on something and being contrarian to his research, they began to attack him personally, which to
Yeah.
me it's outlandish. I mean, it's the
I mean,
lowest of the low.
but they have nothing else though, Jeff. That's what what it tells you is they have nothing else. So,
Nothing.
when you don't have a strong argument, you attack somebody personally. It's like, well, I mean, and then you start going off on them personally, but it's okay. But you don't keep it to the topic at hand. This is kind of a funny thing that people do. And now let's just pull this tweet up here. Now in the last series of tweets, he talked about there needs to be an investigation, right?
Jay Hoddle.
So he says, another Johnny Deaton tweet. He says, I want to extend my sincere, hang on a second, Jay.
Bless you.
Hit the sneeze button there. Luckily, I got it in time.
I want to give a quick shout out to all the On the Chain members.
Yes, please, Jeff.
YouTube members. I think, it's appropriate. So, Jay Hoddle, what is going on?
You guys know who you are, and we appreciate the support. What does that mean to be a member? You get some cool emojis. You get a cool, your badge changed a little bit, just shows you're a supporter. I think the color changes a little bit. And that's cool. It. Pretty much it. It's a cool thing to have.
A cool little icon next to your name when you post stuff. Cool
we
emojis,
appreciate it.
Legendary.
We appreciate.
Yeah,
so it's all very cool. So let's start this over before the sneeze.
Before we go there, so Legendary saying when you start receiving the ad hominems, that's when you know you're winning the argument. The ad hominems with argument.
Ad hominems.
You know you're winning. That's when you know you are winning. It's much easierly.
Yeah, you can do that. Let's start us over. So John Deaton put a tweet out. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Congressman Warren Davidson. By the way, Jeff was on here, on the chain, right here, on the chain.
Right. That's true. Go to onthechain.io. You can actually find that interview with Warren Davidson. You might even pull it up and drop it in the chat.
I like that, Jeff.
So how about that?
Yeah, so beautiful. Gratitude to Congressman Warren Davidson for taking the time to discuss our request for an investigation into the huge conflicts of interest and gross appearances of impropriety related to the decision to give ETH a free pass and attack XRP holders. Congressman Davidson expressed real concern for XRP holders, including the more than 600 in Ohio, which is where he's a representative in his district, that have joined the amicus in the case. Congressman Davidson understands the space and the issues better than most. We need more like him in Congress. Of course, Tom Emmer's another big one who's spot on.
Hang on.
Right, Tom? Oh, you want to drop Tom Emmer in there too? All right.
So Tom Emmer as well. We're going to start name dropping over here. We're going to, instead of name dropping, we are going to podcast interview drop. How about that?
How about Congressman interview drop? We can do that.
So we got two of them right there. You got Congressman Warren Davidson and Congressman Tom Emmer. You guys can go back at some point. Go check it out on thechain.io. And while we're going through that, just a quick shout out to Doc's Gambling. Give Ripple the win, please. Appreciate that. And we got a brand new member. So brand new YouTube member.
Liz, none other than Liz.
Liz, it's great.
Amazing.
You know what that deserves? Hang on, we haven't done this in a while. If here we go.
There we go. The wow. Liz gets the wow. We'll do that for that until good thing I'm not going to have a seizure over here, Jeff.
I was going to say.
Why did we create that? It was the dumbest thing ever. I love it. Do it again. We haven't done it in a while. That's the wow meter.
Unless you're subject to epileptic. Yeah, why can't I say it? I can't say it. Epileptic seizures. I don't know why I can't say it. Right.
It's the logo. It's like the.
I think I'm having a reaction to the wow.
It's the wow button, Jeff. I mean, you can do that all night. We just keep doing wow. Wow.
The wow effect.
So he says we need more of him in Congress. And then I commented on that tweet saying Warren Davidson is a true patriot who serves who, Jeff? We the people. That's who he serves. He's aware of his district, of his constituents. He's serving them because he knows what they want, not what they go to Washington and do what they want to do. And then John Deaton said, well, in speaking with him, I said, I believe the crypto contingency, voters who support crypto, are going to speak loudly in the midterms. Now, Jeff, I will pose this question to you. I was going to reply to this tweet, and I wanted to put all one word. Now, guys, I want you to drop this in the chat or in the comments, because let's get this going. The first word that came to mind was massacre. Okay, it's going to be a massacre, a bloodbath, a rout. What other one-word terms can we use to describe what's going to happen in the midterms? Because it's going to be utter destruction. We are going to get a 4.0 in damage. We are going to go 100 plus seats for 100 years. Yeah,
I like that. I like the damage. They have far overreached. People are talking about what's going on over in the Ukraine right now, and actually a nuclear power plant over there is on fire because all the geniuses decided that they were going to shell in that area. And now there's a nuclear power plant on fire over in the Ukraine.
So they say.
So that's what's being reported. But you know what, Chip, I'll tell you, it's amazing that we saw something happen in Crimea, not that long ago, but it was in a previous administration.
Yeah.
Ago. Not the last one, but one before that, back in 2014. And so, we had some issues in Crimea, and then we had some silence and quiet in the world. The whole world was prospering and lovely. And now here we go again, and so it's interesting that what we're seeing unfold in front of us right now seems to be very planned out into the point where, the powers that are in charge right now decided to do nothing. And so we're in a very tense moment right now, very, very tense. Thank God for crypto. That's all I'm saying. So we saw XRP Life was talking about the nuke plant on fire, market tanking. We got Daniel Brass Girdle was saying, love your work. Chip and Jeff, he's coming in from Australia. And then Irish Hitman over here, they were telling Gensler to buy his own meal at their little meetups, so it wouldn't be seen as a bribe, as he's getting paid millions by his ex-law firm who are clients of ETH. And then he follows through. They should go after the ETH Foundation for the corruption with the SEC, and the SEC needs what is that? Needs binning, joke, all of them.
Yeah, binning joke. It's probably some probably a little slang that we're not.
It's insane. It's insane what's going on right now. It's just like, man, nothing seems real. It's like everything just seems like it just doesn't make sense. It was so simple back in the day when we were interviewing Warren Davidson. We were talking about crypto, we're talking about the Token Taxonomy Act and all of that. And now we got Gary Gensler and these lawsuits and all this chaos that's unfolding. And man, what is going on?
Well, here's what's going on, Jeff. If you remember back when the Daily Show, Jon Stewart was the host of that show, it doesn't seem that long ago, because I know Trevor Noah took over for him. And, I don't know. I don't watch the show, but every once in a while I'll see a clip from it. But it feels like it was a couple weeks, maybe a couple. It's probably like 10 years ago. Who knows? Anyway, Jon Stewart's back with the new series on Apple TV, which means I can watch it, Jeff. Although I don't believe I will. And it's called The Problem, and it tells you everything you need to know about the show. Anything that's called The Problem, I don't want to know. I got enough problems going on in my world. I don't need more problems. I'm surely not going to watch a show. But our old pal, Daddy Gensler, what's going on with our speaking tonight? But usually by Thursday, we got it all piled. Yeah. Having a disaster tonight. What's going on?
Too much. No idea what's going on.
This agency.
But anyway, so you hear sound, right? Yeah.
I think that's real, or are they in a kind of a green room?
No, I don't know, but Stewart looks like, my God, what happened to him? Like, I haven't seen him in a while, but holy cow, man, he looks like he's in his like late 60s. Does anybody know how old Jon Stewart is?
He looks a little bit like sad and kind of helpless.
Well, I have to tell you, before he got onto all this political stuff, Jeff, he was one of the funniest comedians. If you go back and Google stuff of Jon Stewart in his 20s and 30s, it's some of the funniest comedy you'll ever see. You'd never know that. I mean, he does little, hits here and there, but they're just, I don't know. It's not that funny, but he was a really amazing comedian. super long hair, would get out there, just really crazy stuff. Like you probably wouldn't do those types of acts anymore. Joe Rogan, also a very funny comedian too, but you don't see him dishing the humor. But Joe Rogan's a stand-up dude as well. But anybody want to say, how old is he? He's 59?
59. 59.
All right. For some reason, I thought he was like in his mid-60s, like 65, 66, something around there. Yeah, okay, so that's all right. So he's not even 60 yet, okay? But let's listen. So there was a little clip that was released on Twitter, and it's him interviewing our pal, Daddy G, better known as the Gensler.
Matt LaRouche wants to know if he was the T1000.
Could have been. The T1 could have been. He could have been, Matt. It's very possible. I mean, my gosh, anything's possible. You know, you would ask me stuff like that a couple years ago, and I'd be, come on, Jeff, it's just preposterous. I would use that word, preposterous. And I'm like, you can ask me almost anything, and I'm like, I don't know, it could happen. Sounds legit.
Crypto G was saying Stewart must be into crypto. He's aging like guacamole.
Crypto G, bringing the humor. See, now that's funnier than probably anything we'll see tonight. I mean, my God, that's great.
Oh,
I'm glad you're in that chat looking out for that stuff. But anyway, let's listen to this. It's not a long clip, but this is going to be important. We're going to chat about this, and we got some other stuff we're going to like. It's kind of like dovetail this, but here we go. Ready?
To litigate. This agency has to be willing to go into court and, take some losses from time to time. But go into court.
Right.
I think all of those things, but it's trying to use high-profile cases to bring folks back on the right side of the line.
Now, wait a minute. Is this
on the right side of the line, and now he's concerned again. Look at
where's the right side of the line if you go lose? If you go lose in court, it's kind of like throw it at the wall, see what sticks, and then we'll build the enforcement around that. That's what it's just like. Did that work? No. Okay, look, we're gonna go after this. And who was it that brought up the other day that
it's like we gotta bring it back?
To the right side.
Bring it to the right.
To the wrong
the
side.
whole hand gestures. He's like in his mind, he's kind of visualizing how
it's something good.
He's pulling this case. He's like the visualization, the hand gestures, and the idea don't seem to. I don't know.
Listen. I don't know who the folks are over there at Apple programming. There's a lot of weird stuff on there that just doesn't fit my taste. Okay, that's you want to hear me go negative on Apple? Apple TV is a disaster. It really is. I'm subscribed to it, and there's nothing to watch. It's like it's the most. Yeah, it's. I'm not going to say the word, but you kind of know why. Oh. And so you come out with a new show. Jon Stewart hasn't been on TV in 10 years? Who knows? And you have a show, and it's called The Problem. I don't know.
Here's a good comment. Wait, how do we just hide that real quick? This is interesting. So, ex-game writer. Hard to be on the right side of the line when you have no clue where the line even is, because the SEC can't tell you. Not only can't they, but they won't because they don't know.
Hey, Gary, can you tell us one crypto that's not a security? I'm not going to get into particular crypto. Okay, well, you got to give us something over here.
Just give us a
Nothing.
hint.
Give us a hint, would you? Let's listen to this one more time.
This agency has to be willing to go into court and, take some losses from time.
Oh gosh, this is my favorite bit of ever. That I could hear this over and over, Jeff. Put it on a loop.
And, take some losses and, take some losses and, take some losses and, take some losses, take some loss, take some losses from time to time.
Just never gets old, Jeff. It's fantastic. I'm saying take some losses. Well, he looks like a Muppet, but he's going to take one of the biggest losses.
His hands act like Muppets. Those are
you and I have never wavered on the whole idea that this is not going to settle. And what we found out when a tweet that came out, maybe it was the beginning of the week or last week, but Attorney Hogan put a tweet out there saying that they had to sit down. The judge said, sit down for an hour and see if you can come to a settlement. That's settling, man. And why not? And we got to take some losses. You got to take some losses.
You got to take some losses because he's the pillar of enforcement. But within the pillar of enforcement, you got to take some losses.
And you know what the best part about that? He's gonna go down in history as losing one of the defining that's gonna help crypto out the most. and his name will be on it, and it will be just a glorious time. It'll be just phenomenal.
You know what? But he's got his buddy over there in the Senate,
Which buddy?
Elizabeth Warren,
Oh,
and
okay.
so she's over there
That
kind of
buddy.
trying to push the negative narrative that they need more investigation into all this whole cryptocurrency thing. So Susan's saying, did they get him out of the living room? I don't know. I don't know that he's out of his living room. Maybe he's in the other room.
I love that name, Susan Chippy.
Susan Chippy.
Susan Chippy.
No one is Chippy.
I've seen Chippy. I've seen Chipman. But what
What
about
people
Chip?
refer to Susan as Chippy?
Chippy. Hey, Chippy. Yeah, I would imagine they call her Chippy.
Chippy?
That's like
What's going
now
on,
if
Chippy?
you're
Hang
now
out
if you're
at
like
Chippy.
really if you're a B, what do they call you? You're Chippy? No, you're what is that?
If what?
Chippy? If you're like an upbeat person, would you say you're Chippy? I don't know. It sounds like that.
Yeah. Chipper?
Chipper.
Chippy.
I get called Chipper all the time
Chipper.
too. That's my nickname growing
They
up.
call
Hey,
you Chipper. Yo, hey, Chipper.
They called me Chipper. That was like a nickname from my Utes.
They call you
Chipper.
Chipper down when you're at the golf course. Yo, hey, Chipper.
Chipper. Yeah, that happens too, but that's people that don't even know me. Chip shot. Here comes a chip shot. Buy the chip. That's what happens sometimes, Jack. So now this other video is really interesting to get the take on this, because this is Brad Garlinghouse on Fox Business earlier today with Charlie Gasparino and Liz. I always get her last name wrong. What is her name?
MD's he's in his own metaverse.
Yeah. He revolves around his own metaverse. The Daddy G metaverse.
Eddie G-verse.
It would just be his giant head. You could go float around inside of it.
The Gensler verse.
The Daddy G. A giant head. You enter through that nostril like one of these like floating cars. And you go in there and it's an empty chasm. It's just like a big cavern. Hello. Anybody?
Legendary. His hands look like they're questing a party.
It's just like an empty cavernous thing. And there's like nothing in there. Hello. It's an empty skull, Jeff. Empty skull metaverse. Welcome to Daddy G's world.
Daddy G's metaverse. He's
Gosh,
the only
man.
one in his metaverse.
Yeah, every once in a while we have a silly show. This apparently is the one tonight. A guy
So sad. So sad if you're in your own metaverse and you're the only one there. Every so often you make a video so other people have to visualize what's going on in your metaverse. It's really sad.
And you call it office hours. Office hours from Daddy G's metaverse.
Office hours with Daddy G.
And what's with that weird like lounge music? That goofy lounge music. Gosh. There's a tweet. Yeah, he put out a tweet yesterday. It was like, oh, please, just stop. Stop already, please. So let's listen to Brad Garlinghouse today on Liz. What is her last name? I always want to say Clay. It's Claman. Liz Claman, not Claiborne. That's the designer.
Right, that's the designer. Matt, the mayor of G-verse, population of 1.
Yeah, check back in 5 years, population 1.
1.
Jeff, how's the population going? It's 1, but it's a little bit shaky.
It's a little shady.
Shady and shaky. There you go. Yeah, that's the character there. Shaky.
Those videos, and this is a good point Tom brings up. Daddy G making those videos on taxpayers' dime. So you have to wonder, if he's making those videos, how much did they cost? How much did those videos cost us? That's what I would like to know, because they're really bad videos. And
if you're a college student, it costs you a lot more than 8% because you didn't get 8% on your money when you deposited. Remember that? You can get 8% if you just go to the bank.
But those are only for the college kids. If you go to the bank, you get 8%.
It's 8%
on your money.
I don't know what...
You need to compound it 8%. Put it in the bank.
Okay, here we go. So this is Brad Garlinghouse, Charlie Gasparino, Liz Claman talking today. Great conversation.
There we go.
Listen, it's the same with the U.S. dollar. Appropriate activity, inappropriate activity. Joining us now on the set, CEO of leading enterprise blockchain company Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Yes, of course, Ripple. related to XRP. Brad would know a thing or two about this, along with Charlie Gasparino.
I know nothing. He knows everything.
I know nothing.
I love it.
But
Yeah, replay that. I love the introduction for Brad Garlinghouse and how she says XRP. I mean, that we should be able to clip that out and play that, all the time. This is awesome.
yeah, it's delicious, actually, isn't it? And I and you know what? I gotta say, Charlie's looking pretty good because we haven't. He's usually like dressed down. He put the suit jacket on. When Garlinghouse comes to town, he's like, "I'll be in the studio." He's not going to do this remote. He's going to be in the studio talking. Look at the face that Brad makes right there. It's kind of.
I like that tie, the tie shirt combination that Gasparino's got on. It's really nice.
Yeah,
I like that tie.
Charlie looks
Really
sharp,
great tie.
but Brad always
really
looks sharp.
Yeah, he looks like $1 million.
Let's do
US
this.
dollar, appropriate activity, inappropriate
Garlinghouse looks like
activity.
$1
Joining
billion.
us now on the set, CEO of leading enterprise blockchain company Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Yes, of course, Ripple, related to XRP. Brad would know a
Related
thing or
to
two about this, along
XRP.
with Charlie Gasparino.
I know nothing. He knows everything.
I know nothing. What do you
Nothing,
make of what Powell said? He kind of gave it to both sides.
What did he say, though? Did he say anything?
It's not entirely clear. By the way, I do want to start by just saying that I and the team at Ripple feel so strongly about standing with the people of Ukraine, and I just want to put that out there.
Sure.
But my comment as I listen to some of the things I hear out of Washington is just I fear that there's a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of information about how crypto really works. And I think it does a disservice to responsible actors like Ripple who are working with governments, with sanctions. Everything that is enforced from a sanction point of view through fiat currency, anything that Ripple does is enforced in the exact same way. And so there's no different level playing field. And I think in some ways I heard Senator Warren saying things yesterday that felt like it's holding crypto to a different standard and expecting, for example, a blanket ban of all crypto in some of these countries in a way that you could still.
Let me just stop it right here because this drives me insane every time. Every time it happens, you got Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse in the studio, not remote, not in his dining room wherever he shoots these from. And what do they flash on the screen? 3 cryptos. The price of they exactly. They have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Litecoin. Dude, Litecoin. There's like 30 other ones that I would put up there. I mean, I put XRP only because you have Brad Garlinghouse. But seriously. All right, let's.
And they're getting all those from Bitstamp too, which is interesting. It's almost. I feel like, unfortunately, when they're posting this stuff, we're reliving 2017.
Exactly. It's so bizarre to me.
It's very bizarre.
PayPal, you can still use these, some of these other things, and I don't think we should treat them differently.
Ripple is like Swift, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, Ripple's starting point, kind of our first use case for the technology, the blockchain technology, and the digital asset XRP was to solve that cross-border payments problem.
Right.
Swift is quite antiquated, kind of designed 50 years ago. It's slow, it's expensive, but it is a choke point that the governments use to enforce sanctions. My point is, nothing that Ripple is doing circumvents any of that.
So you're following the sanctions exactly? Like, for example, it's like, 8 banks, but a couple can still trade through it theoretically?
Correct. The sanctions are applied through what I'll call the choke points, the on-ramps and off-ramps. That's true for Swift, that's true for Ripple. Regardless of what I'll call just the plumbing of how things are moving, the choke points are the endpoints. So I think, when I step back and look at this, I think there is a lack of knowledge. I think people need to understand that crypto isn't this kind of black box. It's kind of back from when it was known as Silk Road. The industry has come a long way.
So an oligarch, or let's just say Vladimir Putin, couldn't finance tanks through Bitcoin.
Look, one of the things that people don't realize is there's just not enough liquidity.
Yeah.
Russia used to trade pre-sanctions $50 billion of cross-border kind of transactions per day. Crypto does not have anywhere near that. So, look, in the same way that somebody could be taking wheelbarrows of rubles or the Ukrainian currency across to Poland and things like, there are ways you could do that, but it's really not significantly dissimilar.
Why are they so obsessed with it then? It's like so weird.
I think it's a kind of clickbait. It's a hot item. I think people. It adds a relevance and excitement around some of these things, but I think people don't understand.
Well, we had spoken to Gary Gensler of the Securities and Exchange Commission. I know you saw that interview because we were emailing afterward about it, but he specifically tried to say that he wants to very much focus on what's a security and what is an actual token, a cryptocurrency. I feel like if that's the case and he's holding you to that standard, at some point he's going to have to go after Ether as well, because Ether and Ethereum are those two very similar paths, just like XRP and Ripple, are they not?
Look, I think that's absolutely true. I don't want to comment on what they should or shouldn't do. I think as it relates to Ethereum, my view is it's very clear Ethereum's a currency. It's very clear XRP is a currency, and that the SEC. I mean, he was interviewed yesterday. Gary Gensler was, or maybe it was even this morning, and commented that, hey, we're going to lose some cases. This is the definition of regulation by enforcement.
He was going to lose. You think he was saying he's going to lose your case?
I don't know what he was saying. I think but he did say, hey, we're going to lose some, and we're okay with that. That's the definition.
Where are you on the case? Let's get an update.
The quick update, on Monday was the last day of expert testimony, expert depositions, et cetera. And so the case continues to move forward. We're expecting some decisions from the court, sooner rather than later as it relates to a couple decisions before the court. But look, it's moved slowly. I think Gary Gensler has continued to kind of go with a narrative that crypto is the Wild West. It's not the Wild West. Are there bad actors? Yes, there's bad actors in all parts of...
Well, bad actors in money laundering and U.S. dollars.
Right. I found it fascinating from reading the documents for all the stuff they said about how bad it was that you did an unregistered securities. They never say anything bad about your platform. Why is that? I mean, because it's nothing bad.
Well, the irony there is, we were in the SEC's offices. I met with Chairman Clayton. I was meeting with commissioners. No one ever once said, hey, we think XRP is a security. And they look backwards and say, now we think it's all a security. That's a hard argument.
Please come back. Brad Garlinghouse of
Man.
We are coming right back. Charlie,
confidence.
As well.
Hear that confidence?
Yeah.
You hear that confidence in his voice? He is fired up. He's excited. Talking about Gary Gensler talking about losing some. What cases right now, other than Library and this case against Ripple, are really getting any kind of notoriety in the space? I don't know.
Well, there's two things he said there that are unfortunate because they both got stepped on. And the first one was he said, this is this is so clearly, I don't even know what he said, the epitome of, Jeff, I have to go back to it, man. I had it in my head. I was like,
go back.
I think I lost it.
That's okay. We can listen to it a couple of times over. It's awesome.
We probably could listen to it a couple of times, but he basically said the whole idea that I want to think pillars of enforcement, but he talked about, this is when Charlie, I think, stepped on him.
Crypto does not have come a long way. So big ramps. That's true for Swift. That's true for Ripple. Regardless of what I'll call just the plumbing of how things are moving, the choke this kind of black box.
An oligarch or through Bitcoin.
Look, one of the things that people don't realize is there's just not enough liquidity. So,
look,
in the same way that somebody
because we were emailing afterward about it, but he specifically tried to say that he wants to very much focus on what's a security and what is an actual token, a cryptocurrency. I feel like if that's the case and he's holding you to that standard, at some point he's going to have to go after Ether as well, because Ether and Ethereum are those two very similar paths, just like XRP and Ripple, are they not?
Look, I think that's absolutely true. I don't want to comment on what they should or shouldn't do. I think as it relates to Ethereum, my view is it's very clear Ethereum's a currency. It's very clear XRP is a currency, and that the SEC. I mean, he was interviewed yesterday. Gary Gensler was, or maybe it was even this morning, and commented that, hey, we're going to lose some cases. This is the definition of regulation by enforcement.
Here it is right there. The definition of regulation by enforcement. That was so important. It got stepped all over. The definition of regulation by enforcement. We're just going to go after a bunch of people and see if it works. Then we can create regulation out of that because of enforcement action.
See, that alchemist is spot on. Gary hates us all.
And of course, the last thing he said is he met with Chair Clayton a couple times. Never said, hey, by the way, XRP is a security. Yeah, that got stepped on with the music.
Why is that? I mean, because
of course, the irony there is we were in the SEC's offices. I met with Clayton. I was meeting with commissioners. No one ever once said, hey, we think XRP is a security.
Because it's not. That's why. It's a whole thing, man. It's a whole damn thing. My God.
And then he's saying, how difficult is it now to have to go back and try to prove that case? I just want to throw up some of these. PB29 Slovakia says, hi, love your channels, your channel guys. Malaroche, Brad would be rocking the brown shoes, maybe some brogues.
Maybe.
Apex, Brad equals gangster 100%. El Jefe, Gensler giving us a heads up, only in office for 3 months, and there's going to be a massive loss. They're losing their ass to Ripple, right? And we got Apex, regulation
right here
by enforcement, and then Alchemist. Is the switch flipped yet? Didn't think so. Come on.
Not yet.
Flip the switch. We're getting
there.
close.
Connie,
We're getting close.
Connie says, please hit the like as you enter. It's a good thing because I've been in so many chats with Connie, and if she doesn't remind me, I'm like, oh, geez, I love the channel, but I don't hit that. So I always appreciate that, Connie. You got to remind people because they're just focused on the content. They're not paying attention. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, there's so much good stuff. I mean, it's such a Ripple-centric sort of a broadcast here tonight. And here's another one that I wanted to share. Here we go, right here, Jeff. Look at this one here. Uh-oh. Get rid of that on the screen. You always have the pop-ups. Are you interested? No, I'm not. I'm not interested in whatever you're selling. But this one was from AMB Crypto. After Ripple, why NFT creators are next on SEC's radar. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Man, SEC has got everybody on their radar, and that's because Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren and many of the others are all kind of in bed together on this topic. So what the heck is going on?
Given the breadth of the NFT landscape, certain pieces of it might fall within our jurisdiction. People need to be thinking about potential places where NFTs might run into the security regulatory regime. No, it's just getting to be too much. You make a piece of artwork, you sell it. Is that a security? No, it's the scheme behind it, right? That's where people are going to get in trouble.
But you know who's on? DNI, Digital Nomad Investor. Tuning in from Thailand on the chain.
Good morning.
You can't make big money through fines if you have clear regulation. If you got the rules of the road and some regulatory clarity, you don't have to worry about all these massive lawsuits that you're going to lose. I think that's
well said.
Kind of the spot on advice right there. Yep.
Well said.
It's a disaster, man. Hey, you know what? I went and got gas today. You know how expensive it was?
$17 per gallon.
$4.73.
It's so much cheaper up here. I'm like 40 minutes north of you, and it's is that the high test?
I'm never going back to that gas station.
My God, that's incredible. I think I paid
cost $108 to fill up my car today. $108.
I was $3.40. I think I paid last weekend. That wasn't even like a Costco.
I got to use 93 though. Costco, I guess, but everywhere it's going up. My mother was telling me that she had to fill up their RV with diesel, and she was paying. Last week it was like $3.75, and today it was like $4.50 or $4.65 or something like that.
You remember? Well, back in the day, you used to get a diesel car or truck because it was like so much cheaper. Not anymore. Those days are gone. So look at this right here. Another great story.
Robert Morris, $4.90.
Yikes! And if you're in California, it's probably like $6. Feature Music Marketplace to develop NFTs on the XRPL through Ripple support. What is this, you say? Well, Feature, it's an entertainment marketplace platform, says it's been awarded a $100,000 grant by popular blockchain company Ripple via the RippleX's XRP grants program. According to the announcement today, latest funding will not only accelerate Feature's drive into Web 3.0 ecosystem, it'll also contribute immensely to the XRP space, ledger space. With the new funding, Jeff, if we had a company, you and I would blow through that in about 3 days. Seriously.
Yeah, let's see. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. With the funding, Feature will provide support for blockchain-based assets, including cryptocurrency payments, smart contracts, non-fungible tokens, NFTs. But I love this ecosystem that they're building. That quote was from Casey Swift, who's the CEO of Feature, and it's Feeturre. So it's Feature, but it's got a couple little extra things in there. Per the announcement, the XRP ledger will allow Feature to enjoy low transaction fees, faster settlements, which will be instrumental in giving the company a massive edge over its competitors. So Feeturre was launched in 2019. It's a music and entertainment marketplace. You know what's weird, Jeff? Is I couldn't find it out there. I typed in Feeturre and all I got were the press releases. So let me try.
What is it? What was the name of it?
It's Feeturre. Feeturre. Let me see if I can find it. Feeturre.
Jim D was saying this is how Big Brother forces you to get rid of autos and work over the internet, raise car gas to par with Ethereum gas. It's exactly it. Holy crap. It's amazing.
I can't find it anywhere. Look, I just did this search. Even put quotes around it, and it doesn't come up. Like, and it's even an odd spelling. So I don't know where it is. Is this their Twitter account? Maybe
Is it spelled like features, like features?
Yeah, no, it's like I'll show you right here. Where is it? There it is. Feeturre.
Why do they have to make it so difficult?
Well, if it's a unique spelling, you think you'd be able to find it somewhere.
Is it like feature.com, feature.io, feature? Maybe it doesn't exist.
I don't know. This is not the right features. It's all spelled the same. So I don't know. I don't know where it is. I'd love to see it. They didn't even put a link in the article. You know why? Because they probably couldn't find it either. Anyway, it's more development. It's more stuff coming to, you know, the XRP. See, there's another one. I thought there was another story.
Paul Murray's paying $8 a gallon over in the UK. Yeah,
but that's not a gallon though. Is it a gallon? I guess so. It's
probably averaged it out.
Yeah, the liters.
Figured it. Yeah,
but they've always paid $8. They used to pay $7. Yeah, it's always.
Man, it's always been expensive over there.
Oh, here it is.
Europe until you go to Norway, and then it's really expensive.
Okay, this is it right here, Jeff. I found it it was found in another article about it, but it's just Feeturre. That's how you get the domain.
.com.
Yeah, your talent's worth the fee. Download and discover. But this is what the site looks like right here. Trending talent, discover global talent and verified influencers.
Interesting. What does it do?
OG method. That's a good question. I think it's music built in too, and also I think it has to do with well, it's music, mostly music, but influencers as well, like John Monopoly and who else? I thought somebody else recognizing here. Tamac Beats.
These guys talking about a bale of hay.
What's that?
Killis is trying to figure out how much a bale of hay is. Is it $40, $99?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Is that what you're talking about, a bale of hay? Someone said they're getting a horse.
But there you go. Anyway, that's it's cool stuff. So let's see how it works. You collaborate.
Alchemist is saying, plan your life around the lawsuit. Never being over is my advice.
No, it's going to end. It's coming to an end this year.
It is coming
to an end. Upload your art. Buyers come to you. You secure the payment. Pretty simple.
Are these NFTs or is this real art?
This is real art. Real stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there you go. That's it right there. Feature. Kind of cool.
Yeah. Robert, I have a Yukon.
There you go, man. Feature. I wanted to watch that video, see if that's anything.
Robert's got a cool Audi.
Learn more about it. What's that?
Robert's got a cool Audi. Robert Morris.
All right. Okie dokie. So let's do this. Let's go like this. There you go. Let's see. Can you hear this? Can you hear that? Anything or no?
Yeah. Yep.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Tamac Beats, live in full effect. I've been doing this music thing for 19 years. Can y'all believe that? 19 years. I originally arrived from Inglewood, California. Been all over the map, but I'm here now with Featurre. Music that inspires me. I would say I'm a really, really musical person, so I kind of gravitate more towards classical, jazz, R&B. Those are really the things that, what I'm saying, that I took in that kind of made me produce the way that.
Is this his site?
So as a producer, I
No,
use a lot of
he's
different
just one of the
softwares,
producers.
a lot
on
of different softwares. But for me, Feeturre is just one of a kind. They set themselves apart just because I'm able to make the most amount of money.
That's it.
Nice.
Makes the most amount of money. So it's basically, he sells his beats. So you can buy his beats and you can do stuff with it. It's kind of what it is. He was on the homepage, but it's just just various
really
artists
cool.
and stuff. Yeah, really cool.
Very, very cool.
And again, the fact that they're going to be integrating, payments, fast payments, lower transaction costs, this is great. It's great. Being an artist, you're always getting beat down a lot. And hey, by the way, this might be a good time to plug my album. If you want to listen to my album, go to nojoyyet.com, or you can go ahead and visit it right down there. You can listen to me. You can listen to me
We've
sing.
never played your music on the show.
We never will.
Is it copyrighted?
Nope.
Are we gonna get a copyright ding from YouTube playing?
No, you're not. No, you think it's like channel got the show got taken down because I played one of my tunes, but no, it's not really the show to do it. But people can listen. They can always listen.
Yeah, let's make sure. How many R's did it have in there? It was Feature with 2 R's or 3 R's.
Let me drop it in the chat. It's good, man. It's got some cool stuff there. Let me see. Yeah, and I love the fact that they're going to be. This is what we need. We need more. We need more like musicians and artists all tapped in the XRPL. Kind of expand the universe a little bit. That's it right there. I dropped it in there. It's FEETURRE. So there's 2 E's, 2 R's.
Darren is saying to get E85. I don't know. I didn't even know they still made E85. Thought they were done with the E85.
I don't know, Jeff.
I had 2 trucks that took E85. One was an H2, and I remember driving around trying to find E85 back in the day, just to say I put it in it. And when I finally found it, it didn't get as good of gas mileage, and it was the last time I ever used E85. It
didn't last for long.
It did not last long. That's because they realized they were taking grain corn, and farmers would rather burn their corn for the E85 instead of things that it was needed for. Didn't work well. Didn't go too well. Yeah.
Highstakes.com's new decision comes as good news for Ripple. And you're like, well, what the heck is this all about? Well, it's a new online gambling platform from highstakes.com expected to drop soon. Venture will exploit some of the state-of-the-art technological advancements to bring the best online gambling experience to users. The platform also has plans to provide access to some of the best games and poker tournaments. XRP, the native virtual currency from the Ripple network, is among the most popular coins used for gambling purposes. Did you know this, Jeff?
I
did not know that. I remember back in the day when I was in a lot of DM chats. I remember that we would bet on we'd bet on American football games. I would just pretty much bet on everything, just amongst friends, whatever. And I probably won more than I lost, which was just remarkable because that never happens. It was 100 XRP, 100 XRP for this, 100 XRP for that.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
Remember those
People
days?
were throwing it all over. Darren saying E85 is in Conroe. It's $2 a gallon. Really? Maybe they've improved. Well, they're saying it's all over Texas. Jackie's saying E85 is everywhere in Texas. Man,
who knew? See,
who
Jeff,
knew?
that's what I'm saying. The most educated audience in the crypto space and the crypto tubes podcast, whatever. By the way, guys, it's a good time to plug our podcast. You want more content like this, you don't always have to watch us. I mean, we describe what's going on, but we do have a podcast too. Apple, Google, Spotify, you can find on the chain everywhere. So even if you would take a second to go look on your phone, either on Spotify or if you're on Android, look it up on the on Google. What's it called? Google Podcasts, and you got Apple Podcasts. We're like in 10 different places. But just so you know, like if you take us with us, miss the last episode, you can always listen to us. We're always there. As soon as the show ends, it's available like within minutes as a podcast.
You can find it on the chain, onthechain.io. Susan Chippy is saying a round bale of hay is somewhere between $85 to $100 in Texas. That's crazy.
It used to be like $20 back in the day.
I don't know.
So,
I never bought a bale of hay.
I never did either, but I
don't
remember the price.
know, but maybe they can tell us. Seems like we got a lot of people here that are
Jeff,
in the
I'm
know,
gonna take
in the know when it comes to feeding cattle and horses and that sort of thing.
And Jeff, I got a really strong problem with this right here, with this next one, and you ought to too, because you're the other half of on the chain. But check this out. So MIT FinTech, MIT. Next up, we will have the one and only Joel Katz, better known as David Schwartz, Chief Tech Officer of Ripple, with our very own Professor Jackass Parker. I mean, it's just J.A. Parker. I don't know that. Sorry about that. J.A. Parker. I don't know what that stands for. Probably not Jackass. But as the moderator, FinTech conference. Look at this. Now, one of the more pro XRP channels, OG channels out there, talk favorably about Ripple, the SEC suit, all this stuff. And where does David Schwartz go? Goes to MIT. Where does he go? He goes to he goes on a podcast filled with none other than Bitcoin maxis that just hate Ripple and hate XRP and say it's a scam coin or banker's coin. But yeah, go on those. Don't come on here where we could have a pleasant conversation, grill them a little bit. But no, it's cool. I guess that's okay. But that one rubbed me the wrong way. He won't come on here, but he'll go on. I mean, we're not big or anything, but at least you would give it something.
So Connie's saying the round bale of hate is much, much bigger than the rectangle bale of hay. So, man,
Okay.
I'm learning something.
Every day you learn something.
And I've got horses not too far from here.
Yeah.
Got a lot of horse farms. Lots of horse farms.
And Jeff, something big, Coreum. Coreum was the next coin that came out after what the heck is the name of think of it right now. But Coreum, they're thrilled to announce the first exchange listing. Core is listed on BitTrue Official. Deposits have been enabled. USDT trading pair will open on March 7th at 1600 hours UTC. Learn more, and then have a little video here. Bam.
So oh wait, is this the core we've been waiting for? That's gonna
I think the airdrop is supposed to be on the the spin-off of Solo. And if you're holding Solo, you get drops. The first drop is supposed to happen on the 28th, I thought. We should probably go over there and see when that was supposed to be. Fast layer 1. Let's see, what is the price of it? $1.22. Huh.
It's already $1. Man, there you go.
As of 2 hours ago, it was $1.22, Jeff.
We need some airdrop of some Coreum.
All-time high, $1.53.
When is the drop supposed to happen?
I thought it was supposed to happen on February 28th. That's why I was trying to find the schedule. It's this one here. That's
interesting. Robert's saying that his car engine changes the mix when you put E85 in. That's what happens when you have a nice high-performance European vehicle.
Yeah, the first round of distribution of the core airdrop was completed. The second round is ongoing. Check the transactions in real time. The third snapshot for February has been completed. Read the report here. Distribution's ongoing. No customer support team on Twitter, only DM, Sologenic help. We've created a tool to check your holdings for each snapshot. If you haven't received the airdrop, you didn't have a trust line set up correctly. Suckers. So they say.
We're back. Are we going back to the airdrop sagas again?
I don't know, Jeff, but what I can tell you,
the airdrop sagas were negative Nancy.
Yeah, all I can tell you, Jeff, really, if you had to ask me, I would say
Connie got a Coreum airdrop yesterday.
Now we might have. I haven't checked, to be honest with you. So, but Jeff, it's that
ASM
time.
Also got one. Man, we're gonna have to check it out. So on the chain, today is Thursday. Kind of forgot about Thursdays, but we don't stream tomorrow, Friday, but we do stream 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're still hanging out with us here at the bottom of the hour, then or at the top of the hour, or the bottom, what is it, the end of the hour, then you probably already know when we stream.
Yeah, so why would we bother him every time with that then?
Because it's fun. Because then we get to highlight the website. And then you go to onthechain.io, onthechain.io, and that's how we show it off when you go to onthechain.io. So very cool. We won't be back here tomorrow. We will be back on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and back again Sunday night. And next week, we do have the CEO that is behind Ledger City. So
yeah, it's going to be an awesome one.
It's going to be awesome. That's based on your XRP holdings. That'll determine how much real estate you can own inside of Ledger City. So that's kind of cool. And we're going to hear a lot more about that next week. That'll actually be on Wednesday.
It's awesome. Looking forward to that, Jeff. And as always, it was a great week, everybody. Everybody have a great weekend. Tune in to Jeff on Saturday morning. That's it. You have anything else, Jeff?
That's it.
Okay, then we are out of here. Chip and Jeff. Ow!
Hit that right switch. Right.
Ooh.
There.
See what happened?
Nope. That was the wrong switch.
Are you down?
That was definitely the wrong switch.
Are you?
The right one.
That was the right switch. That was the right switch. Wrong time.
Yes.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.